Welcome back, friends. You are watching Tactical Enlightenment, featuring our 300 series. All of these episodes that feature our small but powerful force of war veterans face off against foes in a wide variety of scenarios and in ever increasingly more difficult situations.
Tonight, we dine in hell!
Alright, friends, welcome back again to Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to showing you Bannerlord battles, helping you improve in field command, and hopefully giving you the tools you need to dominate your own game. We continue with our 300 series in this episode. For those not familiar with it, we have this incredibly powerful band of warriors. This is a little sidetrack from our campaign. And we're basically wandering around the map looking for challenges for this very hardy band of warriors. You can see there's a lot of companions. Of course, there's about 40 total and very high-end troops that we're going to try to confront enemy forces with. So I'm in the Southern Empire here. We're going to do a little bit of raiding here, trying to rouse the alarm, trying to get some armies to attack us. Edited videos like this, anything less than 700-800 troops we're not showing. But this will work. This is a large force here, almost 2,000. So we will go and engage this force. Now I have scouted out these battlefields beforehand. I've already had a couple small battles down here that I'm not going to bother showing you. And there's a lot of hills and a lot of water. So these tactical advantages should give us a chance to challenge a force like this. Of course, in the open field, this would be very difficult. With some water, maybe we got a shot. We're going to play with normal player damage, and in we go. Right, so this is perfect. You see this deep water here. The troops sort of trudge through that. And really slow down their approach. It'll also allow us to kite on some level too, right? Kiting is just strategic retreats. So I'm also configuring my fourth corps to be more like a shield wall crossbow unit. I've been running with identical archer corps for literally months, and I'm starting to adapt this tactic as well. It's basically just configuring my fourth corps to be more specialized. It's all crossbows. I want them to take reduced range attack damage so that they can better spar with the enemy, and then if I need to, I can use them in anything from a shield wall to attack all the way to a square as a distractionary force. So you see those two ridges there, those two little ramps coming down from where the enemy is. That's where we're going to try to pen the enemy up. We're going to try to slow the enemy approach on those ridges, and as they come over and through those ridges, we're going to try to pound them with our archers here. Of course, we do have infantry, but it's supplementary. A lot of people's forces, of course, their primary force is infantry. We've got literally 60 infantry in this whole army of 300 men. So it's not quite like the Spartans, right, with Leonidas and the phalanx of the time, which was pretty dominant. The truth is because that era of warfare, they didn't have outstanding archers. They didn't have the compound longbows and other really powerful ranged weapons that came into favor in the 1400s. So infantry really dominated for a couple thousand years. You still had archers, they were just a much weaker part of the battle. It wasn't until like the Battle of Crecy and I think the other battle was probably Agincourt with Henry V, of course, where they devastated the French. All right, so we're flying in here as usual. I always try to suppress horse archers. A lot of times, if you just attack them, they'll do exactly what they're doing right here. They'll retreat, and that's critical. I don't want them getting behind our troops. Wow, that's a lot of fucking troops the enemy has. So we're not going to approach over that ridge. You can see it's a nasty way for us to get obliterated is by going over the ridge. We want the enemy to come to us. Since they attacked us, we have that luxury. We can wait for them. So I've got Cav here just holding a line. That's the third Cav. Their combination distractionary force and just a shield, right? I want those guys absorbing arrows. I want them slowing down enemy cav attempts to charge our lines here. And again, every time their horse archers and light and medium cav come in, we're going to attack. Tell these guys to fucking try a different angle. Our archers, of course, are pounding them as well. And occasionally, if they get too close, they get a javelin in the eye, right? A big, long stick. It's a beautiful sunrise here to destroy the enemy today. So far in this 300 challenge, we've risen to every challenge. I'm trying to make these progressively more difficult. They are very difficult. Each one has been difficult. We're not showing routes on the channel. Mash some lords here. But these channels to this point, our 300, our band of incredibly powerful warriors has been able to handle this. I'm a little mindful of my archers here. They're using an awful lot of ammunition, just kind of firing up that hill. Not thrilled about that at this stage, but with so many enemy cav here, I feel like it's necessary to keep firing. Have a javelin. Their force seems reluctant to attack. That's either hesitant AI or honestly good AI, because this is a murder hole here. We've got this set up just to destroy them if they come over that ridge. Let's see if we can't lure them in by backing off a little bit here, and then if they, of course, if they engage, we will charge back, try to bottle it up, and then slam the door on them. We'll come right over this ridge. I'm already thinking of contingency plans for after the initial conflict. You always want to make sure you have a plan for what to do next. In this instance, I'm thinking about kiting the force either off to the right here or over this ridge. Right, kiting is basically an orderly retreat where you pull back to a stage where, again, it's more tactically advantageous. So like a sophomore asking a gal out to prom here, they've gotten a little bit more brave, but they're still not brave. These guys are still sort of cowering back. They're clearly, they're not ready to be an alpha male yet in this battle. But they're close enough now that I think we can get a better shot on them with our archers. I want to kill this lord. Kill that guy. Alright, we can open fire up here again, see if we can't encourage them to charge. Their archers will be running out of ammunition also. We have Britannian Fiend Champs. We have like 80 Britannian Fiend Champs, and anybody saying, well, that doesn't seem fair. Well, obviously the enemy has high-level archers too. We just have they're better archers, right? They have the tier 5 archers. They have, you can see the death spam, Imperial Palatine Guard, Imperial Sergeant Crossbow. These are good archer units. In fact, we have some of those in our own army. The difference though is the Britannian Fiend Champs have a lot more ammunition. They have they have 2 bags. I think there are 30 something arrows in both bags, and so those guys will keep on firing long after the enemy's out of arrows. Typically when the enemy's out of arrows, of course, that's when they'll get aggressive. That's when they'll charge. They'll obliterate this guy's horse here, throw a javelin in his back. At least he had a sunrise to die to. Alright, here they come. They finally perked up their confidence. They're going to ask this chick out, and the answer, of course, is going to be a hilarious belly-laughing no from this gal. Right, their confidence is not that high, and we're going to try to destroy them here in this stream. So I'm dragging cav behind me. Of course, anytime we're attacked by such a huge vanguard, you can see it far outnumbers us. We're going to try to attack it on multiple sides. The other thing I'm focused on doing here is pounding them with javelins. We've got a lot of guys with high javelin skills. It's going to blow up shields. Those legionnaires holding their proud shield, they're going to die with their shield too, because it's going to blow their shields up. Now that they're close, we can send the 6th, 8th, and 1st Division. These are heavy infantry divisions, skirmishers, and my elite 8th Corps, and we can mop up the rest of these guys that haven't been mown down. Yeah, the Khan's guards are destroying that guy. And you now understand, if you haven't seen one of these battles before, why the AI was hesitant to come down that hill. I don't know how many deaths we suffered, but it wasn't many. They just evaporated there. So on to phase 2 here. The enemy's sort of regrouping there in a big mass. And I don't think I have enough ammo to attack them that same way a second time. I'm going to go to the javelin store here, i.e. their dead bodies, collect all their javelins. They won't need them anymore. Yep, my companions are picking up javelins, which is always nice. Steal the guy's horse here, a little medieval carjacking. It's Grand Theft Auto 0.1. This is the first version. Kill people and carjack their horse. Mow down these slow horse archers here before we catch up with our troops. Ah, he fucking speared me. You're gonna pay for that, motherfucker. A watery grave for you. Alright, their forces are charging here. That's Cav, though. That is unsupported Cav. They don't have any support. We charge. So I don't know if you can see, they don't have any infantry and no archer support here. They don't have the angle to shoot on them. So I've got our guys standing still shooting. And they're lighting them up with arrows. And I just told 2 Cav divisions in the 8th Corps to attack. I'm actually dragging the 8th Corps here because I want to get onto the side of the enemy here, cut off their retreat, and then cut off their heads once their retreat is cut off. In we go. And again, I don't see any support for these boys. No support, you guys die. They got a little overzealous. It'll be the end of them. It's all green death spam. The enemy is getting absolutely immolated again. And as soon as this is over, we're going to resume our tactical retreat. See, my units are mostly on the other side of the river there. And again, I don't know if we might have suffered 2 or 3 losses in that destruction right there. They're not very high level Cav, but again, attacking them in a concentrated fashion like that when they have no support is just devastating to their troops. Got us a beautiful battle scene. I might play this game even if it had bad combat dynamics, just because of how beautiful it is. It's a gray winter day where I'm at right now, and this is just beautiful, man. I feel like we need a picnic, a banquet after we massacre this force. I'm looking up at the power bar, and our orange bar is almost full. I don't ever look at the status bar during battles. I like some success. Not success. Of course I like some success. We like suspense in battles. I want to not know how many forces the enemy's lost and how many forces we've lost. This lone pursuer here, mowed down. Alright, here they come. They're trotting through the water here. Going to take them a little while to get to us. Oh, they're coming around this corner too. Good. So my plan here with this river is to sort of allow them to approach. Once they're in a formation, we're going to try to surround them. I'm going to try to surround them. We still have fast units. Of course, we just annihilated their Cav division, so they don't have a lot of mobility. Once the enemy's in a line formation or in a stacked formation or whatever they do, we're going to try to wrap around the edges of it here. I think we probably have a few arrows left, so we're going to hold fire here till they're closer. But we're preparing a nice little trap for the enemy here. It'd be even better if we can get them halfway in that water, of course, because then they won't be able to retreat. They'll be moving really slowly, and it'll be Massacre City. They're still shooting at us. We're going to absorb some arrows up there, but I have 4 different divisions in shield wall. These cavalry are facing the wrong way. Let's get these guys straightened out. So on the left flank over here, I've got those crossbowmen. I'm going to move them onto this left flank here. We're going to get these guys stretched out. It'll absorb some arrows, and it'll also be a unit that we can attack and surround this enemy force with. These guys here. They're still shooting. A few guys are still shooting. Alright, so we're going to get them on the enemy right flank, our left flank. You see we got a Cav division there absorbing arrows. I've got my main tranche of Britannian Fiends back here. It's 90 strong. It's not all Fiend champs, but there's a lot of Fiend champs in there. So at this stage, those guys just turned into shock troops, right? They're out of ammunition. We can now begin to encircle this enemy force. What I wanted to do is get cav behind them, so if they retreat, we can charge. Now, if they don't retreat, we'll use those cav as the old hammer and anvil, right? It's a classic tactic people have used in games like this forever. You basically confront the enemy, you know, in the front with heavy infantry. I could use that crossbow division and then pound them from behind with our cav. And get the cav sent behind them to start this process. We're going to start moving units up. 4th Corps moved up, 1st Corps moved up, 6th Corps moved up. We're going to move this cav division into the water. And then I'm going to drag the 5th and the 8th Corps to the enemy's left flank, our right flank. They're in a very nice clump for us. There's a big fucking neon flashing sign above them that says surround us and kill us. And so we're going to accept their invitation here. Start sending in these units that are close enough. My archers must not have been on follow because they're taking their sweet ass time up there. The enemy just got reinforcements, so the time is now. Time to attack these guys in a hurry. Sending in both cav divisions, the 8th division, and we're going to try to cut these guys off with our elite units. We've got cav behind them here, infantry on front, archers charging. Run a few guys over here. They've got another big tranche of troops already set up in a C formation. Not a C formation, in a stacked formation. So stacked formation, its vulnerability is it's flankable. We're going to try to turn the flank on this. If I don't get my ass kicked here, we're going to try to turn the flank on this next big force. So I've got troops coming in the front here. I'm going to drag the 5th Corps, that's these battalion fiend tramps, the shock troops, and the 8th Corps around to the enemy's left. We're going to stretch them out over here and then try to envelop this force. It's kind of like a small fish trying to envelop a huge barracuda, but we're still going to try it. We've got better troops at this stage. We've got all the momentum. We've got all the confidence. They're still trembling after asking this gal out for a prom date, and it's try to remind him here, time to remind these sad forces who the alpha male is. Their archers are trying to spread out. Let's get archers sent behind him. I want this 5th Corps physically behind the enemy. I'm not letting them fall back again. We're going to get troops literally behind them. We'll envelop them. You see them roaring up here. Now that they're close, we send them in with charge, and the real fucking combat begins. Getting shot. It's all right. I can take a few more arrows. It's a massacre. The enemy's trying to regroup again. Continuing to spread out our units here. When the enemy's coming at you with a frontal attack like this, if you have strong infantry like we do, use your flanks. Send units off to their left flank in this case, and then as soon as those guys are on the enemy's flank, have them attack. It's devastatingly effective. They're starting to shoot us with arrows, so there's some urgency to this. I gotta get the 8th and the 5th Corps up there in a hurry.
Cavalry! Square formation! Loose formation!
We're losing troops to their archers, but we're on them now. We're face to face with these lightly armored archers with our 8th and 5th Corps, and appropriately, realistically, the enemy is taken off. They're either reforming or they've routed. This has been an ass whipping. We are now all the way around them. We have troops behind them, in front of them. The enemy is just a cornered animal at this stage. Continuing to send units directly into their midst. Right, you don't want these archers to spread out and gain distance on you. Don't let them kite you. You see them trying to kite, counter it with aggressive, fast movement. Take a horse, another carjacking. Right, my criminal rating is going up here in Grand Theft Auto 0.1. Gonna smash some guys over the head with our battle axe. and I think we call this a victory. A savage victory. I've got to admit, I've really been enjoying this 300 series. There's a lot of pressure in my campaign. It's self-created pressure. I've said it before. These battles I will reload if we're unsuccessful. In fact, I'm going to try not to tell you until this stage of the battle, but this was our third attempt at this battle. I don't really want to ruin the suspense of it and let you know, hey, this is our first attempt, this is our second attempt. I'll probably not tell you until the battle is over like this. The first battle we lost. I didn't position correctly in the water. The enemy took forever. I got a little overzealous, charged too early. Tried to get them basically to attack me when I should have been a little more patient, and we lost. We were unsuccessful. The second battle, the enemy was just so passive. I was kind of waiting for them to attack that I just stopped it midway, stopped the recording, frustratingly restarted, and then this was our third attempt. So it did take 3 attempts to pull this challenge off. But I still consider that a success. This is an extremely difficult battle, and as you can see, we still have half of our troops alive. Half of our troops, not just alive, but upright. Going to have a nice banquet here on this this beautiful sunrise. So, like I said before, we'll try to be upfront about when we lose these, you know, so that I don't appear like it's just everything's easy. These are extremely difficult battles, and that's purposeful. I'm trying to make them harder and harder with each fight. Certainly, most players don't challenge 2,000 troops with their 300 in Bannerlord. We do have all these hardened, grizzly veterans around me here that can take care of business. You know, if you had a similar army, you know, I don't know the skill level of players watching this, but if you're experienced like I am and you had a similar army, you might be able to pull this off as well. The purpose of it's not to brag necessarily, just to show you and to enjoy very difficult challenges in Bannerlord. So thanks for watching. We're going to do a number more of these series. As long as you guys keep requesting them, as long as you guys keep providing positive feedback, we'll continue to keep making these videos. I have a few other ideas, sort of defensive spots of the map where we can have some interesting battles. I'm not going to be fighting in the open too often. What I mean by the open is like a broad open grassy field, just because you can't win with a tiny force against 2,000 in the open. I mean, maybe I'll attempt it at one point just to show you how possible it is. But we'll look for unique situations, areas we can channel the enemy like this, water where we can use tactical advantages, and try to continue dominating the map with this group of 300 fellas. So thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys a ton. Please subscribe if you're interested in more from this series, and I'll talk to you friends next time.